What's up guys, sharkeatyoshi here again, bringing you a very interesting video. In today's video, I'm going to be bringing you my bug team. As you guys can see here, I am bringing you the bug team. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm going to bring you my VGC 2014 bug team before the season ends. And Aurus is coming out in less than, I think, 2 weeks or so. Let's see. It's coming out next Friday, not this Friday, not the, when I'm recording this, it's the 10th, but it's coming out next Friday, the 21st, and I can't wait until that game comes out. It's gonna be freaking awesome, and I'm gonna be bringing back the VGC battles and all this other good stuff because it's gonna be a new game with new megas and stuff like that, so I can't wait. But anyway, guys, we're talking about my 2014 VGC bug team. I'm going to talk about it and give you a little, how the team works and all this other good stuff, and so you guys can play it out yourselves, or if you guys want to play out the 2014 meta in the future or something like that, you guys can actually play this team. It's actually a pretty decent team. I was very surprised that bugs were actually going to do very well in the VGC 2014 meta. I think that's because Hydreigon, Mawil's a thing. There's just a lot of Pokemon bugs can counter, and plus this guy right here, this Vivillon right here, just makes the team run so well, especially with Rotom Heats and the ability of just sleep powdering everything. It's just a very powerful Pokemon, and it's I love this Pokemon. It's freaking awesome. So let's go ahead and talk about the team. I'm going to talk about the spreads, moves, and everything like that, and then I'm going to be talking about the team itself, how it works, and if you guys actually want to see the team in action, links down below to a playlist of all the battles I had with this team. You guys can go check that out and see what's good and what's bad. So first of all, let's go ahead and talk about the team. I am running a Pinsir, a Excelgor, a Escavalier, a Vivillon, a Scizor, and last but not least a Heracross. So I'm going to talk about the least used Pokemon, or the Pokemon that I hardly ever use. First Pokemon being Pinsir, which is my Mega Pokemon. Pinsir is one of those Pokemon that is just hit and miss in this team. It either works very well or it's just extremely terrible, or I never use it. And I couldn't find out this Pokemon it's pretty good, but I don't think it works very well in the bug team. The reason why I have it in here is because I wanted someone with Feint, right here, Feint. If you guys don't know what Feint does, it nullifies any detects, protects, quick guards, wide guards. It also nullifies Aegislash's King Shield because it counts as a protect. But he doesn't work that well. Of course, he does have the ability Hyper Cutter, and you're going to go with the usual 252 in speed and attack, give him a jolly nature, and then put the rest in HP because why not? I gave him Return, Earthquake, and Protect. I know some people run Close Combat. In this situation, I ran Earthquake because Aegislash just wrecks this team left and right. Aegislash is the bane of this team. It's so terrible. If your Vivillon gets knocked out, if you're not able to sleep powder the Aegislash, you're just gonna lose the game. If they knock out your Vivillon and they just wreck you from there, you're just gonna lose the game to an Aegislash. So you can be up 4-1, and he can just 1v4 your whole team with Aegislash. That's how bad Aegislash is against this matchup. It's so terrible. So that's why I'm running the Earthquake. Like I said, this Pokemon is hit and miss. It works very well against grass type Pokemon like Venusaur. It also works very well against Amoonguss. Also, it also works very well against any fighting type Pokemon, which you do see a decent amount. And that's essentially it. That's all I have this guy for. And plus, I wanted a Mega Pokemon because why not? I probably would take this guy out in the future, probably put in Mega Beedrill, test out Mega Beedrill, but I don't know, he's just like hit and miss. You guys can test him out himself. I only bring him in certain situations, and yeah. So the next Pokemon is Scizor. Scizor declined very hard in this meta. I think mostly because it was so good in the National Dex meta, where there was more speed control, there was more Trick Room, there was more taunters, so Scizor allowed you to just take advantage of that, and at the same time this Pokemon got Bug Bite at that time, and you can just Bug Gem, Bug Bite, and then steal Rotom's Citrus Berry, it was just so good in the 2013 format. Right now, he's not really that great because he's just extremely slow. Rotom is a thing, and Charizard is also a thing. So this Pokemon doesn't do very well against those type of Pokemon, and the meta is just way too fast for this Pokemon to survive. I do have U-Turn, Bullet Punch, Swords Dance, and Protect. The good old Technician, Lumberry. I would run Max Speed instead of HP if I could run the Life Orb, but my Excelgor has the Life Orb, and I'll explain that later. I have HP and Attack, Adamant Nature. Nothing very fancy here. You guys can go for some fancy stuff if you guys want to put, special defense or something like that. You can give them Assault Vest if you guys would like to. If you guys don't want to run the Protect or the Sword Dance, give them Feint. Or what else does he have in here? I think he has a Fighting type move. Or Bug, I don't know what else he has, or Scizor, I don't know, along with your U-Turn and stuff like that, or you can give him a band. It's up to you. You guys don't have to run this specific spread. This guy, he works really good against fairies, but like I said, there was just so many Pokemon that limits this guy. It's a Pokemon that I usually stay away from choosing. Yes, he's very strong, but in this team, he doesn't work out that well, and in this meta, he doesn't work that well. Not Excelgor, Escavalier does everything he does, but better. I mostly have him in here for a counter to Perish Trap or Gothitelle, which you see a lot of play. At the same time, he does pretty decently against Specs, Hydreigon, if Hydreigon gets locked into its Specs without using Fire Blast. And, he does extremely well against a decent amount of Pokemon. But other than that, he's just here to prevent Trick Room. He's just here to prevent things like that. I have 1 point in speed, so I can outspeed Gothitelle, since it's been seeing a lot of play lately. But this guy is just here to, if I find a Trick Room team or a very weird, very annoying team like Smeargle, this guy usually comes in because he does have the Lungberry. But other than that, he's not really that use. So the next Pokemon are the 4 MVPs of the team, which is Heracross, Vivillon, Escavalier, and Excelgor. So let's go ahead and talk about the sweepers, which is Escavalier and Heracross. Heracross is my physical sweeper. He is a Choice Scarf, he is Guts, and he is 252 in attack and speed. Jolly Nature, put 1 point in defense. 4 points in HP, so you can get that 1 point. I do have Sleep Talk, Close Combat, Rock Slide, and Earthquake. I do not have Mega Horn in here. I used to have Mega Horn, but then I realized, I have like so many bugs. I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 Pokemon that are very powerful. This one has Mega Horn, so I have 3 very powerful bug type Pokemon that can do a lot of damage to a lot of dark types out there or anything like that that is very weak against bugs. So I really don't need the Mega Horn. I need more of the Earthquake against the Aegislashes. I also need the Rock Slide. I also need the Rock Slide against like Talonflames or any birds or Charsizzles. The cool thing about this guy is this guy can survive a Heat Wave from a Charizard in the sun. So this guy is freaking powerful. This guy can take a lot of hits. And that's what I love about Heracross. He can take a Scald in the rain, and if he gets burned, the Guts Boots would activate. He's also Choice Scarf. This Pokemon is just so strong, and he's one of my MVPs in the team. He won me so many games with his Paraflinch. Not his Paraflinch, his Flinch hacks with his Rock Slides. And he does so much damage with his Close Combat. It's not even funny. And his Earthquake is so good because I run 1, 2, 3. I run 4 Pokemon that would easily take an Earthquake or just resist it. So Earthquake is such a powerful attack on this Pokemon. And I run Sleep Talk just in case I'm put to sleep against an Amoonguss. I run the Sleep Talk so I have a chance to use one of my 3 moves. Keep in mind, Sleep Talk does not work under Choice Scarf if you already used a move. So if, let's say, for example, you use Earthquake and then they put you to sleep, you have to use Earthquake again. So, yeah. So you got to predict your opponent into either switching in the right moments where they're going to put you to sleep, or and then you sleep talk. This Pokemon is so good because of that ability where he can just switch in. He gets the guts boost. If he gets paralyzed, if he gets burned, if he gets put to sleep, if you switch in correctly, this Pokemon will wreck Pokemons for days. And at the same time, this guy counters Kangaskhan Smeargle shenanigans, and it's just freaking awesome because he has 2 spread moves and he has close combat, and both of those Pokemon are normal types. And it's just so delicious. But yeah, Heracross, just a very powerful Pokemon. He also works very well standalone in other teams. Just very powerful. So the next Pokemon I'm going to be talking about is Excelgor. Excelgor is my main special attacker in this team. 252 in special attack, 252 in speed. Give him timid nature so I can outspeed almost every single Pokemon in the Kalos Dex except 2. Mega Alakazam and Mega Aerodactyl. Yep. So essentially this guy is the fastest Pokemon in the Dex, in the national Dex, I mean not national Dex, in the Hoenn Dex. Wait, what am I saying? I'm thinking about Oris already. In the Kalos Dex, there we go. He's the fastest Pokemon in the Kalos Dex. There are not a Mega Evolution. He outspeeds so many Pokemon. He does so much damage. He can one-shot, just like destroy a Hydreigon. And this guy is just so powerful. Like, it's not even funny. Like, he can almost outspeed a lot of Choice Scarfers, and that's saying something. And this guy just has so much power. His abilities are not that great. He does have Sticky Hold, Hydration, Unburden. You don't want to run Unburden because the likelihood of you proccing it is very slim to none, unless you're running like a Choice Scarf or something like that. I mean, not a Choice Scarf, but a Sash, Hydration. There's no point whatsoever. Stick and Hold is probably the best option here, just in case they have Knockoff or Thief or something like that. Alongside with Life Orb, this guy just one-shots a lot of things. I do run the Hit and Power Ice to protect the Giga Drain. You can run the Energy Ball if you guys would like to, but I do run the Giga Drain because it does do enough damage to a lot of Water-type Pokemon, to a lot of, it does enough damage to Rotom. It takes Rotom down to half all the time, so, and then they pop their Citrus Berry. I mean, just enough so they won't pop their Citrus Berry. It's a lot better than Energy Ball, because if you Energy Ball a Rotom Wash, it's going to pop a Citrus Berry, and it's going to take 2 hits, and, it's just a mess. Where I can easily just 2-hit KO a Rotom Wash with a Giga Drain, but it's up to your preference. I also have it in here so I can restore some of my life from Life Orb and the good old Bug Buzz, because it is a stab type move, and I do have a chance of flooring its special defense. And this guy has a lot of special attack. Yes, he can take a hit. Like, he'll get one-shotted by a Fake Out. That's how weak this guy is, but it doesn't matter because this guy is so fast, he's so strong, and if you combine it with the 2 supporter Pokemon, which I'm going to be showing you right now, this guy is a powerhouse. So the next supporter Pokemon is, the 2 supporter Pokemon, my bad, is the first one being Vivillon. Vivillon with Compound Eyes, Focus Sash, and Sleep Powder makes this thing a threat. And I know a lot of people hate me because I run this thing, and I know a lot of people go with the Smogon rule sets where only put 1 Pokemon to sleep, and the Sleep Claws and stuff like that. In VGC, there's no such thing as Sleep Claws, so you're allowed to put everything to sleep. Vivillon makes this team run. If Vivillon wasn't a thing, this team will be so bad. It's not even funny. Well, it wouldn't be that bad because I could run Volcarona, but in the 2014 meta, this team will be pretty terrible. Like, pretty bad. It'll be pretty hard to run. Well, not terrible, but pretty hard to run. So Vivillon makes this team work out so well because it has 2 of the best powder moves in the game. Sleep Powder and Powder. If you guys don't know what Powder does, Powder is such a troll move, and people do not see it coming. People forget Vivillon gets Powder. And what Powder does, it's a +1 priority. You use it, you predict someone that's going to be using a Fire-type move. It spreads a mist of powder onto them, and then when they use the Fire-type move, it gets negated and it explodes in their face. So they lose damage to how much. So they lose a percentage of how much damage they're gonna take, combined with their health. So it's a weird math, but it prevents your opponent from using any of their Fire-type moves. And then from there, you have your Excelgor, you have your Heracross, you have your Pinsir, you have your Scizor, and you can just wreck house with that. And it makes these 2 Steel-type Pokemon, which I have literally invulnerable to anything with this Pokemon. And once they see the combo of Powder and Sleep Powder, they're like, we have to kill that Vivillon. If we don't kill that Vivillon, we're going to lose this game. And a lot of people were just like scrambling. Oh, we got to knock out this Vivillon. We got to remove its Focus Sash. We just got to take it out as soon as possible. The cool thing about Vivillon is that it has Focus Sash. Yes, it's extremely weak, but with the Focus Sash, it helps it out very well. And he's pretty decently fast, so he can outspeed a lot of things. And, he will survive the initial hit, get a Sleep Powder off on one of their faster Pokemon, and the next turn you can Sleep Powder the slower Pokemon, and it's just, Vivillon is just a very great supporter Pokemon in here, and this move right here goes to, I think, 97.5, yeah, 97.5 for all your classic hits. No, but I have missed this ability with Compound Eyes twice, and it lost me the game. Yep, it has happened, but Vivillon, just a very powerful Pokemon. You can also run Hurricane on this thing to have a very high percent chance, a 90% chance, if I do remember, to hit your moves, and Hurricane, just a very powerful Pokemon, a very powerful move, alongside with its Stab, Vivillon Stab, because it is a Bug Flying, and you can run Bug Buzz on this thing, but it's up to you. It doesn't matter. Vivillon, just a very powerful Pokemon. These are the only two moves that you essentially need. I have 252 in Special Attack, 252 in Speed, Timid Nature, so it can be faster. And that's essentially it. So last, but definitely not least, probably one of the best Pokemon in this team, Escavalier. Escavalier is one of the best Pokemon I have ever used. I am so surprised this Pokemon, well, I know why it's not being used in the 2014 meta, but I'm so surprised that not a lot of people throw this Pokemon off to the side. It's so powerful, yet it's so slow, but it's so tanky, and it does so much damage. This thing is so good, and it has so many great abilities. It's not even funny. This thing has Overcoat, Shell Armor, and Swarm. Swarm for damage, Shell Armor so you won't get critted, and Overcoat if you're against those pesky Amoonguses, because it does remove Powder type moves. And if you're facing a Vivillon on your opponent's side of the field, or any Pokemon, like for example Venusaur that runs Sleep Powder, this thing can't be put to sleep. He's also resistant to weather type moves, but he's not going to be he's not going to get hit or hurt by Sandstorm. Of course the Hell, but that doesn't matter. This Pokemon is such a powerhouse. He only has one weakness because he is Bug Steel. And I run a very interesting spread on him. I run 96 into HP, and oh my goodness, the trash man, please. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I run 116 on attack, 92 in defense. I run a Careful Nature and 100 in special defense, and then I run 4 in speed. The reason why I run 4 in speed, because of the none of the points, that 4 points didn't want to fit in anywhere. If you guys don't want to run that, you can put in special defense, because why not? It doesn't matter. These 4 points really don't matter whatsoever. It doesn't affect anything, but I just put in speed because I don't want it to be wasted points. But this Pokemon is just so powerful. He has Quick Guard, which just wrecks so many things in the meta. Yes, of course, he can't outspeed any Pokemon, like literally any Pokemon with Fake Out. He can't outspeed anything with Fake Out. But he's mostly in here just to remove threats like Meowsticks, Klefki, anything with Prankster. He wrecks Talonflames. If Talonflames, you put your opponent in a position where, if you bring out Escavalier and Heracross, you put your opponent in a position where, is he going to Quick Guard? If he Quick Guards he's going to kill me with the Rock Slide with Heracross. But if I go for a Flare Blitz, I know that Heracross is Choice Scarf, it just puts the Talonflame player in a very strange position where it's like, I need to switch out Talonflame or I'm gonna die. I need to do this. I need to do that. And this Pokemon is just such a huge mind-gaining Pokemon. It's so crazy, and he's such a great tank. And I have so many good things to say about this Pokemon. Like I said, he does ignore Powder effects. So against Amoonguss, because of his Overcoat Powder moves, he ignores Rage Powder. So if they have a Pokemon like a fairy Pokemon, like for example Gardevoir, or they have a Tyranitar, or they have a what's it called, Hydreigon on the other side of the on my opponent's side, and they use Rage Powder and they don't focus Escavalier. Escavalier can one-shot those Pokemon with a Mega Horn and an Iron Head. It's so freaking awesome. It's just this Pokemon is so good. It's just so good. If we have in the new Oris games, if we have a national dex, more than likely we will go into a speed control type of format where a lot of people are going to just be running a lot slower Pokemon with like maybe 1 or 2 very fast Pokemon because of Trick Room being a thing, a lot more speed control. This Pokemon is going to be a very powerful Pokemon, and you guys should consider it. But anyway, guys, I am winded out talking about this team. I can go on forever. This team, surprisingly enough, I didn't expect it to be such a decent team as it is. It does have a lot of faults, like, for example, it does lose to Steel types. Sadly enough, Aegislash being the worst Steel type against this team. I really wish I could run Volcarona, because Volcarona is very powerful Pokemon. It does get overheat. I mean, not overheat. It does get Heat Wave. It does get Rage Powder. It does get so many great moves, and it's just a very beefy Pokemon. And I can't wait until Mega Beedrill comes out so I can test that out. It's going to be freaking awesome. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this bug team. Hope you guys can go ahead and take it out, test it out in Showdown, make your adjustments for your playstyle, and I hope you guys enjoyed the team. And until next time, guys, I'll see you guys later. Also, before I leave, if you guys would like to see more build videos like this, or more team building, or like more Pokemon, I don't know, like Pokemon guides for VGC, then please go ahead and tell me down below in the links. I know I used to do them. I stopped doing them because I thought, you know, these Pokemon are going to get outdated at the time they work like this, and, you know, stuff like that. But if you guys would like to see build videos like that, then please go ahead and tell me in the comments. Please like this video. Please share it. Please do all this good stuff. And if you like this, please subscribe, because once Oris comes out, more VGC type battling I'm going to just be playing like the crap out of that game. Like, no joke. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this team. I hope you guys enjoyed this team and this video. And until next time, guys, I'll see you guys later with more build videos. Bye, guys.